What? A bomb fell in a war zone? Hey, before we dive in, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Everyone else, please like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Because once we're monetized, we can create a lot more content. But until then, looks like me and Josh are going to be racking up the overtime at work. All right. What the heck are the news outlets so worried about? I mean, you flip through mainstream media these days, and everyone is all kinds of upset over a few bombs dropping in a war zone. Lest we forget, just last week, Zelensky knelt at the altar of NATO and begged for a preemptive strike on Russia. And this is after Putin used rhetoric in his public speech claiming NATO was green-lighting a nuclear assault on their homeland. So how far behind are we? How long have we been kept in the dark? How much of this should we even believe at this point? Because believe me, I don't care about a warmongering Putin. What I care about is the sheer manipulation of the American people. You see, we have a government that knows we're ripe for the picking with all of our infighting. Then when the population begins to notice the bullshit we're being fed, they just print some money to make us happy, which, of course, results in a recession. A recession makes us care mostly about our finances and subsequently our families, so it's hard to think about the happenings of the world when your kids are hungry. You know, we only pay attention when we're neither too content nor stretched too thin. And here we are, 300 plus million Americans struggling to buy groceries and fill our fuel tanks. So we're too distracted with our responsibilities to notice just what our tax dollars are funding. And those tax dollars, they pay for quite a bit of aid for the epicenter of money laundering, with a leader who just plays his part, much like he did in his acting career. See, this is NATO's war. Zelensky is just being the public representative of the playground. So let's think about this. We have retired U.S. military members on the ground using donated military weaponry and being told who to use it on by Ukrainian leaders no one even knows. When did these guys retire? You know what? I'm going to guess 2023 or 2024. But that's not enough. It's never enough. Mainstream media has trained our brains to think Russia bad, and the broader depth of people are buying it hook, line, and sinker. It's easier to agree when you're looking at fires burning in Kyiv. It's easy to agree when they use innumerable buzzwords, when in reality it's because we have become too lazy to do our own research. I mean, I too let my own disdain for Russia cloud my judgment earlier this year. I want to dislike him, but look at Zelensky. I admit I was wrong. But Zelensky is fine with war because everyone else will fight it for him. And he will turn a profit. Wealthy politicians will keep it going to support their bank accounts. And the military-industrial complex supports it because, well, they're rotating inventory. And the U.S. citizens support it because, we're lazy. And we've been trained by Netflix to look for a bad guy. So does the good guy poke the bad guy because he believes poking him will keep the bad guy from punching him in the face? Probably not. And if so, that movie magic just doesn't happen on a battlefield. Meanwhile, at home, we're watching Democrats cheer on what they believe is the underdog, and Republicans celebrate what they believe is the failure of Russia. What we're really seeing is the groundwork to a blueprint that has been used every time the economy has had a downturn. Poor people who can't find work become employed by the governments with the promise of money and free education just to go fight wars that don't result in anything. When people go to war, it creates open jobs at workplaces and demand for several industries that feed the war machine. And inevitably, it means good old Uncle Sam will once again arm the enemy of our enemy just to claim that the people we helped are now the true enemy because they have weapons that threaten to destabilize a region. Weapons that we, of course, gave them when their war was relevant for us. Don't believe me? Who armed the Taliban when they fought Russia? Yeah, that's right, the old Stars and Stripes. And who incidentally armed them again less than 2 years ago? Yep. But who started it? President Carter, arguably the worst president in history. But Biden, who has asked Carter to hold his Metamucil in every category, armed them and got our soldiers killed in the process. So with all of that said, Ukraine has begged the boys club to be a member of NATO for a long time. And much like a man with a sugar mama, they have just been stringing Ukraine along, only offering to piss Putin off. So after World War III is over, how many months do you think it will take for Ukraine to have weapons that destabilize their region? All, of course, with a good old stars and stripes emblazoned on them.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.